It's time for an inside look at the most powerful motorsport on the planet. WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro.
NHRA Nitro, Joe Costello with you, the NHRA podcast, and we are getting ready for the 60th Lucas Oil Winter Nationals. I'll be heading out that way on Thursday, and I'm very excited to get the 2020 Mellow Yellow drag racing season going once again. We have got Shawn Langdon on this episode, and we are going to check in with Shawn as he makes the move back to Top Fuel Dragsters for Caleta Motorsports. In fact, it's going to be heavy Caleta this week. J.R. Todd going to be joining us as well, talk about the funny car side of things. Shawn Langdon going to talk about the Top Fuel side of things. He was a dragster driver, won the championship, then moved over to funny car, now back to dragsters. It's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out, and I am excited for the season. We're going to get to Shawn just seconds from now. Reminder to subscribe to WFO Radio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. And big thanks to our sponsors, Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure in particular, 866-480-7223, where you can drive a dragster. Show up with literally nothing, and they supply everything, and you get to go down the track in dragsters, even set up a race. It's a great corporate team-building experience, great for you and your friends. The Dragster Adventure at frankhawley.com. Samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology, 713-683-3817. I think that there are people in our audience that are interested in becoming a machinist but don't know how to get started. And the good news is Samtech can get you started and even placed in a career with a great company, whether it be CNC machining, motorsport EFI tuning, blockhead CNC programs. They do it all, and they've got a great network of people that help their graduates once they graduate. Samtech.edu. Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology, 800-874-2753. From boosted Pro Mod engines to stock eliminator and everything in between, Total Seal fits the rings. They also do rings for compressors, anything you can possibly think of that requires a piston ring. Go-karts, supercross, motocross, Total Seal, anything high performance, they make the piston rings. Check them out, TotalSeal.com. And don't forget to check out the new podcast, Hidden Horsepower, by Total Seal, in all those places that you get your podcast. MagicDryUS.com, the official organic absorbent of the NHRA. It's made out of coconut. It works better. It travels lighter. It's easier to carry around, and it's renewable. What's better than that? And plus, they support drag racing. When it comes to something like that, if you're using the old school methods, time to move on. It's better, it's healthier, and they support Scott Palmer and WFO and a couple of national events during this season. And of course, that's MagicDryUS.com. And of course, RoadAxeCoffeeandGrills.com. I enjoyed a little Bang the Blower espresso today, 817-924-6821. Some of my favorites. Grilling at the Super Bowl party. Everybody is asking me. They're like, Joe, where did you get this? How did you learn that? What's the story? This spice rub is incredible. And the answer is always the same. Rodax. The guy is maestro. He simply is. 817-924-6821. RoadAxeCoffeeandGrills.com. Also, big thanks to Drag Racing Edge Magazine and EV3 Drag Racing, a game for your mobile device. It's a drag racing game. Right? Check it out. They help cross-promote the WFO NHRA podcast. All right, let's get into it. Joining us now, he'll be diving back into the Top Fuel Eliminator. Had an outstanding test session out there in Vegas. He is the 2013 Top Fuel champ, but won 2 races in funny car last year. Shawn Langdon joins us now. Shawn, happy 2020 NHRA. How are you?
I'm doing great. Enjoying the good California weather. Getting ready for Pomona.
Yes, exactly. So let's go dive into what I think is the biggest change for you, back into Top Fuel. I understand why and all. It makes perfect sense. You know, Kalitta says you do. And now you get to drive with Connie as your crew chief, but you had just really emerged as a funny car kind of guy. So tell me about the transition back.
Yeah, it's, testing went well. It was a pretty smooth transition. I raced with Connie in the 2017 season. My first year with Caleta Motorsports, and so I did that season with him. And then obviously the opportunity presented itself to go to funny car. So I did 2 seasons in funny car, and then they came to me at the very end of last year, and Connie said that he you wanted to put me back in the dragster again. So to me, I just want to race. I enjoy racing. I love racing. Put me in the funny car, dragster, full stock, pro mod, golf cart. I don't care. I just want to race.
Right.
So It's a good opportunity. I'm excited to be back.
Versatility, that's kind of your thing, though, right? Like, and we always end up talking about this, and I like the idea of, your bracket racing heritage and Super Comp .90 heritage, where you kind of got started out, even the junior dragsters. If you're racing at that level, you need to be versatile, right? You need to be able to jump in whatever, whenever, to go race for big money as best as you can. And so you're kind of doing that at the highest levels now. What? Funny car, I can do it. And you did. You did a great job. Top Fuel, is that where I can be helpful? Top Fuel, great job. Go back. You're a world champ already. Will driving the funny car, like, does Top Fuel come back instantly, right? Whereas going from Top Fuel to funny car was a challenge, and you were very open and honest about it, which we loved. Thank you for being so open about how challenging it was. What about the reverse? Do you just go back to the muscle memory of the Top Fuel and how it's different to drive?
Yeah, well, I wish it was that easy. It's actually it caught me by surprise. I really kind of went into the test session really kind of open-minded, because I've never obviously made the transition back from a funny car to a dragster. And I've seen a few drivers in the past that have made a transition from funny car to the dragster. And one kind of common thing that I've noticed is, and what a lot of people have said, is just oversteering. And so I kind of went into that just because, your muscle memory in a funny car, you really want to move the wheel, X amount, which is a lot more than a funny car. So I was a little bit, intimidated, with the fact of, like, man, I really don't, want to oversteer these cars. And that was one of my big concentration kind of focus points going back testing was, just really be careful with the steering. And what was crazy is, like, on the first run that I made, and I came back, they just wanted me to do a little 330 hit, and I shut it off, fairly close to him. And they said, well, how'd it feel? And it just blew my mind, just the acceleration rate of a dragster compared to a funny car. So going from a dragster to a funny car, you make that transition. There's a lot of different things that you're, just some visuals that are different, and you lose a little bit of peripheral vision. You lose a little bit of vision in front of the car. You don't see the front tires, and it's a whole different feel sitting on the rear end. But then go back to the dragster. But it's just that acceleration rate from like 80 feet to 200 feet is so much greater in a dragster. And so it just felt like a rocket ship. Like the first run, I came back and said, well, how'd it feel? I felt like I was like 790, 60 foot, and it was like too flat at the 330. So it was just flying. And they were like, well, it was 840, 213, so you're probably going, like a 374, 375. Man, it felt so much faster than that. So kind of from there, it's just like I knew, okay, I got to get, my mind caught up with the car, and just kind of get, where you mentally don't get so far behind. That's kind of where a lot of drivers get in trouble, is just mentally you're behind the car. So the next couple runs, it was really kind of a concentration of just getting caught up with the car mentally. But I did notice, man, I really like the next run we got a 660, and I was really just oversteering it, overdriving it, just because I was used to with the funny car. So I could kind of feel that. So like the rest of the weekend, I really actually, and it sounds kind of crazy, but I really kind of focused on trying to drive one-handed in the dragster for the last couple days, because just I felt like I was oversteering it so much driving it two-handed. So I actually just went to driving the thing one-handed, and it got a little bit better. Made some pretty street runs. We ended up going 3.68 and a 3.69 on the last day. So yeah, I feel pretty good about it heading to Pomona.
Exciting. I like you, giving us a download on the thought process, and it makes sense. You can drive it one-handed. You're not going to be able to overcorrect. At least that's the way it sounds and the way you went through it. All this experience, you've already got a championship. You've got in the Mellow Yellow Series, you got 2 championships in the Lucas Oil Series. But all the bouncing around from team to opportunity, car to car, you're becoming one of the most well-rounded talents in our sport. I know you want to try to get another championship, though, and it really looks like you're going to have a strong opportunity coming out of the gate. Kalitta Motorsports at the end of last year, Doug having such a great year in the countdown, and the way Richie had a couple of good runs, those teams have kind of balanced out, and it looks like Kalitta Motorsports is well-positioned. We spoke with Chad Head a week ago, and for our listeners, that interview is in the archive. He was very excited. Tell me about, the general atmosphere over there, attitude going into the start of the season, the 60th Lucas Oil Winter Nationals, a race that's typically good for Kalitta Motorsports. As you get ready to go again, right? Here we go. I know I'm excited, and everybody that I'm talking to is fired up for NHRA season. Give me your, the state of play over there in Caleta Motorsports from your perspective.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we're very excited. JR, he won the championship a couple of years ago, and they're going to be a very tough team this year in the funny car class, and Doug just barely missed in the championship last year by a couple points. He's obviously very deserving of a championship, so they feel pretty good over there with the Mac Tools team, and then we just like with ourselves and Connie's car and the DHL car, we had such a great test session. 2 of the runs that I shut off at 660 were 3.70 runs, and the 2 runs that I made to 1,000 feet were 3.68 and 3.69. So we feel very, very good, very confident. Chad's done an exceptional job coming in as general manager of Caleta, and he's gone above and beyond in a lot of different areas of kind of getting everybody on the same page and really trying to make the whole business from top to bottom run efficiently. And they've really got the marketing team together, and we've announced some new sponsors with NGK and Mobile One, and we got another announcement coming this weekend with another company that's on board. And then our existing partners with DHL and Mac Tools and Wix and Toyota TRD. It's just a great program, and just great partners, great group of sponsors, and very dedicated sponsors. And so it's just it's really a great team. I mean, just everybody works well together, and it just kind of fits in very well. We've kind of had to make some changes here and there, just to kind of get things back, I guess, in check a little bit. Just try to keep everything moving efficiently. But we feel like with the 3 teams we have, I feel like we're going to have 3 strong contending teams.
Connie, Rob Flynn, Kurt Elliott, a good brain trust there, obviously, with Connie as the leader. You mentioned all these sponsors that you guys have in the marketing partnerships with Caleta, but I really think like on this 10-day period, maybe Caleta Air has gotten more publicity than any or all of those other, everybody in the NHRA combined, with the 747 from Caleta Air bringing those folks back to the United States who had, came from China with the coronavirus. I know you shared it. I shared it. I think it's pretty cool that drag racing, what does he say? I always repeat it. Like, it's a drag racing team with an air freight company has been able to be so involved with something that affects the world, right? And, there's Caleta Air, and I can't help but feel like, obviously it's a serious subject, but a sense of pride that, hey, man, those are drag racers right there. Caleta Air, drag racers helping out with a tough situation.
Yeah, that's one great thing about Connie is, he's just so well-versed in so many areas, and just with Caleta Air, they've done a lot of things throughout the years of helping out a lot of the troops overseas and taking care packages over there, and just doing a lot of things. Obviously now with this coronavirus, going over there, and I was talking to him the other day about it. And he said that they're probably going to have another plane go back over there. So Connie's obviously a great man. he's got a great company and a couple great companies, and just, opportunities like that, it just shows how big the guy's heart is, it's not all just about racing. There's a lot of other things that go on in life, but, I know that they've helped with, certain, relief, stuff that they've had with, between like the hurricanes and floods and stuff like that in other countries that he sent his planes down for as well. And, that's why I love working with Connie, man. Just great guy, big heart, and just wants to help everybody.
NHRA 2020, you are in this lifestyle now, and so you will benefit greatly as NHRA continues to grow. I feel the same about, my own, job and career, et cetera. And I know we always, from time to time, I know you guys on your podcast, No Mex Effect, speak often about, ways to improve, ways to get things better. So here we are at the start of the, in many ways, the next decade of NHRA drag racing with the 60th Lucas Oil Winter Nationals. I am hoping for positive energy. I do know that the new countdown rules so far are not really liked by, most. I'll say that. I consider it an incentive to participate, and I get where they came from it, like the way they went about it. I've had a bunch of people tell me they would have preferred do it another way, et cetera, yada, yada. But, as far as like promoting the sport going forward for this season, there's a lot of good things as well. So give me your thoughts about this season and what we need to do to blow it up, to make it bigger, to make it better. The first week of no NFL, everybody hopefully will be watching us.
Yeah, it's just a tough situation. I think you have a great product within the NHRA, and there's great possibilities. There's some very, very talented teams out there. There's a lot of talented teams that are part-time. I think there was a couple of races last year where we had some pretty full car counts of over 20 cars. You start getting, both of the Vandergrift cars out there, and, you bring like TJ Zizzo, and, there's a few other teams that are out there that, they run very well, but it's just trying to figure out how to get these guys out there full time. And, a lot of other teams that come out as well. It's tough. It's tough in this day and age. It's just trying to figure out with companies, what kind of makes them tick. It's just, different from a long time ago where it's, really results driven, where, hey, won a championship and come out the next year and have a lot of sponsorships and stuff like that. But I think just this day and age with social media and it's, there's just a lot of different ways that companies are using their advertising dollars, and it's not necessarily just put my name on the side of a race car. But there, and obviously there's still a lot of companies that do, and it works very well for them. I think every company just has different ideas about it, but it's just, we just as a group need to find, better ways to adhere to these companies to, really get their name out there and get more eyes and more value, to those companies. So it's, we've had to change some of our ways and focus, not just necessarily putting a name on the side of a car, but it's, a lot of stuff digitally, a lot of stuff social media wise, of really improving our relationships with our partners that we have. It'd be awesome to have a lot more cars out there. I know just can't put social media impressions in a gas tank and get these cars down the track. We've got to figure out ways to get actual money value. So I think a lot of teams are working. So I think just, some of the changes that they had to make with the countdown were results of that. I think there was a couple cars that didn't make the countdown last year, and they decided not to participate in some of the countdown races, which really kind of hurts the value of the countdown. I understand why they didn't. There's just not a lot of money to show up to a race. The purses are really undervalued for what the teams have to spend budget-wise to maintain with the schedule and to maintain with travel and parts costs. And there's just some things there's no way around it. So it's tough right now. It's a tough state in the sport. But I think, if we can get the maybe a little bit of a purse increase, figure out ways to get budgets managed a little bit better, I think that's at the point when you really start seeing the sport turn around, because you'll start seeing a lot more cars out there. And I think once you kind of start getting more cars out there, you get more driver personalities and figuring out a way to kind of take the sport mainstream. And, it's always a work in progress. It's a lot of things that the world's always changing and value of marketing is always changing. So it's trying not to just play catch up, but try to get that one step ahead.
I agree. I think that my perspective of it is that the best way that Shawn Langdon can help the sport of drag racing is to be a big personality, which you are, and now to go after Steve Torrence, right? Like, he's the back-to-back Top Fuel world champ. He's got swagger. They've got this great team that they've built. They're on top of the mountain. They are the best. There's no doubt. Someone's got to knock them off, right? Someone's got to knock them off or try to knock them off, and maybe it won't happen. Antron has reassembled his super team. Like, it causes everyone to get better. So, like, how are you going to handle that? Are you going to be a little more, you're going to take some shots? You're going to be open? You're going to talk a little bit? You're going to be quiet? You're going to let your actions on the track speak? That I think that whatever you choose to do, it's whatever is best for you. It can't be orchestrated, but at the same time, Shawn Langdon, Top Fuel world champ, coming back to Top Fuel to, knock this guy's block off. That's an interesting story. We would love to follow that all year long.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I think a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously, Antron, they're going to have a great team with karate back. There's going to be a lot of great teams. It's going to be some really good competition. I mean, as far as a lot of that stuff, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to come back in and call anybody out or anything like that. I think a lot of that stuff just kind of comes to fruition as the season progresses and tempers flare, egos start getting up a little bit. I mean, I don't have any hard feelings or any animosity towards any of the drivers. I think a lot of the things in the past have kind of been, certain drivers will kind of speak up and I'll speak back if they're speaking up towards me. So, I really enjoy the racing part of it, and sometimes, like I said, tempers flare a little bit and certain drivers will say things that they don't mean top end, and they usually apologize by the end of the year. And, for the most part, kind of let bygones be bygones. We're all out there competing, and, you get adrenaline going. Sometimes you say things that you don't mean and maybe do some things that you don't mean. And some people got to, get sent to anger management classes and stuff like that for it. But, it's, I guess everything happens for a reason, and everybody learns from things. But I think it's all good for the sport. Though I think it's just got to know how to properly do things, and market things, and I guess you just kind of have to let the races play out how they do.
Excellent. No, I agree, and it's a journey, right? Who knows what exactly is going to happen. Is there anything else you would like the WFO universe to know as you get ready to do this, right? Like, here we go, 24 races. It's a marathon. It's tough. It is not easy. Time away from the family. Like, how's your dad? How's all that going? Any final thoughts before we let you run?
Final thoughts? I guess participation trophies suck. We're going for a championship. We want to win. So we're excited to come out this year. I think we're it'll be fun to battle it out. It'll be fun to, try to get in the countdown and win races, fight for the championship. But we got to get these participation trophies out of the sport.
There you go. Shawn, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I wish you good luck. Have fun and good luck.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shawn. Shawn Langdon with us here on WFO Radio. Now, I am really thinking about the Capco team and their dominance, and I know that there are some, rumors out there, and those things are constantly evolving, right? It's an evolving story as we get closer and closer to it. Maybe news is breaking about it. Obviously, we put WFO out early in the week, catch up with our racers, so it's not an up-to-the-second commentary on all that goes down. But I like the idea of Shawn Langdon, past champion, getting back into Top Fuel. He can definitely leave. He immediately becomes one of the best leavers in the category. And there's all these different dynamics that I think will be fun and exciting and great to follow along. Like Antron Brown, Brian Karate getting back together with Mark Oswald, Brad Mason, and suddenly they're going to try to get that thing going again. Is Steve going to be able to win a third in a row, or are the forces out there, not the John forces, but the forces of nature going to overtake them, right? Like people realizing that what they're doing, it's not enough to beat the Capco team, so they have to do more, make a greater investment, etc. It's going to be very interesting to follow that story all year long, and like Shawn says, and I would have loved to have heard him say, yeah, man, we're going to take him down. That's the plan. We're going to take him down. But I also understand that's not Shawn's character. But we know that Shawn is the kind of guy who will mix it up once the gauntlet has been thrown down. We saw that last year. And will continue to pick at the scab, right? Like, it will not let it go. It will continue to come back, which I like. I like that. This is entertainment. This is racing and entertainment. And the day, like, you just want to see moves on the track, that's when the electric car, drone cars take over. We got to have humans doing their human thing, ruffling each other's feathers, saying things about each other, good, bad, or otherwise, to just keep it interesting, keep everybody going. So I'm excited about Top Fuel. If you click subscribe, you will never miss a WFO show, including our Ignition show, which is a lot of fun. And JR Todd is going to be next out, and JR is going to get us ready for the Winter Nationals. Just like that, a little WFO in your life every day, just about. And it's going to be a lot of fun being out there. I'll be doing a new bit in the pits called Get to Know. We got some great guests. It's going to be fun. Erica Enders going to be up on a stage with me. We're going to have a lot of fun. We got track walks and walking tours and all kinds of stuff. Be aware of the NHRA social media. And, of course, I invite you to follow me at WFO Joe on Twitter and at WFO Joe on Instagram and WFO Radio Twitter. That way you never miss a show as well. Of course, we got a Facebook page. We have a Facebook group. Did you see the big Super Bowl commercial with all the Facebook groups? We got one, and we got a lot of our diehard listeners in there. So that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much. Again, big thanks to the sponsors, the people that make it all possible. Total Seal Piston Rings and MagicDryUS.com. RodaxCoffeeandGrills.com. That's Marvin, great guy. Samtech.edu and Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School. Thank you, guys. Drag Racing Edge and EV3 Drag Racing as well. And for you Patreons, patreon.com/WFO Radio, where you get early release of all of these interviews. I know you're laughing when I say early release. It's not always a good thing. But in this case, it is. Patreon.com/WFO Radio. What's this guy talking about? Don't worry about it. See you in Pomona. Don't forget, JR Todd coming out soon.
This is WFO Radio.
I love WFO Radio. Oh, yeah.
The views and opinions of the hosts, guests, or callers do not necessarily reflect that of the station ownership, advertisers, or agencies.
We're talking gourmet coffee. We're talking hot sauces. We're talking spice rubs. We're talking everything good at RodaxCoffeeandGrills.com. Marvin Rodak, been doing it since the 70s. Figured out that life is better with great coffee. And oh, he's so right. 817-924-6821. Call Marvin. He'll roast up some coffee fresh for you. Throw in some hot sauce, some spice rub, and you will be loving it. Hit him up, RodaxCoffeeandGrills.com.
Start your education at full speed with the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Accelerate your career as a high-performance engine builder with classroom instruction and practical hands-on experience in the lab, on the dyno, and at the track. In addition to the blockhead and CNC programs, SAM now offers motorsport EFI tuning and an Associates of Applied Science degree. And SAM is a military-friendly school, approved to train veterans and other eligible persons under the GI Bill. Start your education at full speed. Go to samtech.edu today.
You're working in the shop, you've got spills, you've spilled oil, it's everywhere. What are you going to do? I know what you're going to do, but that's not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is to go to magicdryus.com and order the official organic absorbent of the National Hot Rod Association, Magic Dry. It's lighter, it absorbs more, it's better for the environment. It's made out of coconut. It's made in America. magicdryus.com. They've got spill kits that include everything you need for a regular, normal household spill, all the way up to a large industrial spill. We always say, if you've got a cat, get Cat Spot. If you've got a shop, if you've got a factory, if you've got a spill, call Magic Dry. That's magicdryus.com. Hey, engine builders, Total Seal piston rings are the leader in ring seal technology, and they go out of their way to help their customers and will make custom sets for any specific piston you might have. Customer service, top notch. Made in America? Absolutely. They're located in Phoenix, Arizona, and they've got everything it takes to develop the world's best piston rings. Give them a call at 800-874-2753 or go to TotalSeal.com. Attention adrenaline junkies, Frank Hawley's Dragster Adventure is calling you. Rides available for the 2020 season. Go to frankhawley.com. They're coming to a track near you. It makes a great gift, and you know the holidays are coming, whether it be licensing for Super Comp, Super Gas, all the way up to Top Alcohol. They can do it. But if you're a drag racing fan and you've always imagined what it might be like to drive a dragster, to accelerate 0 to 60 in 3 seconds and run 10s in the quarter mile, give them a call. 866-480-7223, frankhawley.com, the Dragster Adventure, and tell them you heard it on WFO.
Hey, WFO Universe. Want something for free? Send a self-addressed stamped envelope with plenty of postage, and we'll load it up with free WFO stickers. That's right, I said free. Send your envelope, care of Castello Media /WFO stickers to P.O. Box 848353, Pembroke Pines, Florida 33084. Do it now.
This is WFO Radio.